Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Terry's Tennis Tips, trying to make you a better tennis player. What I want to talk about today is the serve. A lot of you have come up to me and said, how can I get more pace on my serve? I want to hit my serve faster. First, let's cover more or less the beginning side. A lot of you have what we call the pancake grip. I'm going to show this to you. It's where your hand, the V of my hand, is on the side of the racket with my face down. That's called a pancake grip. So when you go to hit your serve, you're hitting it like that. Now obviously that's limited, but it's a big change if we take you from beginning to advanced. But right now I'm talking about the beginner serve. Once again, it's where your hand, the V of your hand, is on the side of your racket. So your service motion kind of looks like this. You're standing almost with your foot facing the net. You're throwing your ball up and you're swinging straight ahead. Now, that's very limited because your ball is going to be flat. Your clearance over the net is very small, but if you're stuck with that and you don't want to learn a more advanced serve, here's what will get more pace on your serve. First, you need to get your toss up and out in front of you so you can hit it out in front of you. A lot of you do this. You throw the ball behind you, you lean back and hit it. You don't get your body into it. Notice I'm actually leaning backwards as I hit. Once again, to get more pace on your serve in the beginning grip, if I throw it out in front of me and hit it, I'm going to get more pace. The other thing is you have to almost stand facing the net, because if you try and turn sideways, you can't hit this. In a way, I hate to call this beginning. It's called the pancake grip, but a lot of people that didn't learn to serve through lessons automatically pick this grip up. Pancake grip, you want to get more pace on your serve, throw the ball out in front of you. One other thing that'll help you, slide your hand down as far as you can go. Some of you are gripping your serve up this high off the end. You can't really snap your wrist. As you notice, this is sticking down below my hand. It catches on my wrist. If I slide my hand down, I now get a lot more leverage. So once again, this is the pancake grip that a lot of people have. Pace on your serve, ball out in front of you, slide your hand down to the end. You're going to hit it out in front. That'll help you get more pace on your serve. Now I want to cover a more advanced type of serve. All right, everybody, we covered what we call the pancake serve. Let's talk about the more advanced serve, which you're going to have your hand in a continental grip. This is the same grip we talked about for the volley in the first few episodes. This is where your knuckle, with the racket pointing straight, perpendicular to the ground, your knuckle on your index finger, which we always refer to as the base knuckle, is on the next level down from the top. This is called a continental grip. Same grip you use for your volley. Now here's what difference. First of all, here's what's similar. Let's slide your hand down to the end. Now when you face the net, remember in the episode we talked about the beginning serve, pancake serve, you were facing the net. Now you're going to turn sideways a little bit more. To get the most out of the serve, the fastest serve, we'd like to have your foot turn completely sideways to the baseline. I don't recommend this right now for 3-0, 3-5, maybe even 4-0. That's a little extreme, but advanced. The reason the foot is turned completely sideways, when I go back, it allows for extreme shoulder rotation. Just kind of like a baseball pitcher on the rubber of the pitcher's mound. When he turns sideways, he's ready to release his pitch like this. I'm suggesting this. Let's compromise. Instead of completely sideways, let's open it up a little bit. A lot of people like to say, let's point my left toe toward the net post. I don't quite like it that far. I like to keep it a little bit to the right of the net post as I'm facing the net. Now, in this pose, we still throw the ball out in front of us. Make sure, let's have our toss, let's have our hand like a platform, the ball out in the end of the fingertips, supported by the thumb. Let me show you that again. The ball is out in the end of my fingertips. I'm going to put my thumb on top. Here's what that allows me to do. As I start my toss and go up, I can release the thumb and it's like a platform. Notice my arm is straight too. Some of you do this. You bend your arm, the toss comes in too short, you're going to end up hitting behind you. If I throw my ball up correctly, it should land out in front of me and come down about a foot inside the line. That's ideal for me to hit my serve. It could even be a little farther. But to review this, remember, continental grip on the serve, turn sideways a little bit more than in the pancake grip. Now, I'm ready to go, and I'm going to get more shoulder turn. Shoulder turn is what creates more pace on the serve. One other thing I'd like you to do. Make sure you bounce the ball the same number of times. Rituals. If you bounce the ball twice, do it every time, even on your second serve. Here's what else I want to see. Let the air out of your body. So after I bounce twice, I look at my target, I let my air out. If you've ever watched a basketball game and you watch a basketball player go to the free throw line, he is going to bounce the ball, he's going to look at the rim, he lets his air out. That makes sure you're nice and relaxed. If you don't do this, and you don't make an effort to let your air out, you could be breathing in. And that's like holding your breath when you serve, which tightens you up. You're going to be like a robot. You're not going to get any power on your serve. So remember, whatever number of bounces you like, it can be 5, it can be 3. Mine is 3. I look at my target. I let my air out. The other thing it does is it makes you take your time. So when you're serving at 40 love, if you're serving love 40, you're relaxed. You're going to get more serves in with more pace if you let your air out. Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Terry's Tennis Tips. We covered the serve, let's cover the return of serve. A couple simple things from the other episodes. Remember our good ready position. That comes into play right here at the return of serve too. A lot of you, when you're looking at the server, I'm sure you're looking at the whole person, you're watching his wind up, you're watching everything. I'm going to simplify that for you. Next time you return serve, after the player's done bouncing his ball, the server, when he comes to a stop and gets ready to serve, I want you to look at an imaginary window over the right shoulder. We're assuming the server's right-handed. If he's right-handed, I want you to stare at the rectangular window on the top of his shoulder, and here's why. Now I've harnessed your focus to one area. After the guy bounces, stare at the right window, because here's why. The racket and the ball are going to come out of this window right above his shoulder. What this does is it simplifies your focus and keeps you from watching all of this. You know, a lot of servers have all these motions. You don't have to watch this all the time. You steady the window above the right shoulder. That's where the ball's going to come out of. Once again, as you're looking at the server, after he completes his bounces, shift your focus to the window above his right shoulder. Obviously, if it's a left-hander, it's going to be the left window. But remember, the ball has to come out of this window. It's going to cut down on your focus traveling all over. You're going to pick up the ball sooner, and you're going to have a better return. Now, you've picked the ball up. Let's talk about what happens when it's coming to you. You're in your ready position. I really don't care if you wait with a forehand grip or a backhand grip. It doesn't matter what's comfortable you. But keep in mind, the majority of servers serving to the player in the deuce court will try and keep the ball down the middle to your backhand. I still like for you to wait with a forehand grip because you have a chance of getting off to the side and hitting your forehand. Anytime you can take a forehand, take it. So, The ready position was your knees bent, racket out in front of you. Watch the window above the server's right shoulder if he's right-handed. If the server hits a slow serve, you have lots of time to turn and hit. We're going to talk about a guy with a big serve or a lady with a big serve. The more pace on the serve, the shorter take back you have to drive that ball using their pace. So remember, faster server, shorter take back. A more soft serve, you have time, you can be aggressive with it. When you have a target for a return of serve, the center strap is a very good target for you to pick out to aim your return over. Don't think that the good players don't have a target. They already know what they're going to hit. They know they're going to either take it as a backhand or a forehand ahead of time. It may not turn out that way, but they are planning their return way ahead of time. On all the leagues and stuff we have in Saddlebrook, sometimes you have a serve that you could hit a lob over top of the net person. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That is a good ploy, because if I hit my lob over the net person, the server has to stay back. My partner and I can go in right on the net. So anything you can do to get that serve back, that's the most important thing. Your first job as a returner of serve, get the ball back in play. Don't try and go for a winner. Just get it back, and then as the match goes on and you get a little more grooved, maybe you can go for a winner. But remember, your job as a return of server is to get the ball back in play. Short, compact stroke on a server that hits fast. Get ready early. Drive the ball that you have more time on. But the key is, look at that window over the shoulder of the server. You will pick the ball up quicker. It'll make your return better. Okay, now that I've shown you about the focusing, watching the server hit his serve, I want to show you the preparation again, which will seem a lot like the forehand and backhand we talked about in earlier episodes. Let's say I'm in my ready position, my left hand's on the racket, the server is serving to my backhand. So many of you I see do this. You take your left hand off, you hold your racket in your right hand, and you push it. No power whatsoever. Here's all I'm going to change. Here I am in a ready position, my left hand's on the racket. Make your left hand pull the racket back. Notice my body turns at the same time. I can now step into the return and drive it more with my body. Look at all I'm changing. Instead of you doing this, left hand on the racket, taking your left hand off, wrong, you're pushing it like this. All I'm telling you to do is hold onto the racket with your left hand and make that left hand pull the racket back, which turns my shoulders. I can drive my return a lot better. I'm going to get it deeper, and it's going to cause more trouble for the server who might be coming in. So remember, you're in the ready position. You learned that from the other episodes. All I'm going to do now is my left hand is going to do the work. It's going to pull it back. It turns my shoulders. I now can step in. That's the backhand return. Forehand return gets a little simpler, but once again, Mr. Left Hand comes into work. Here's my forehand return. As the server hits his ball, I'm going to throw my left hand out in front of me, causing my racket to go back, turning, and I'm going to pretend almost like I'm going to catch that ball with my left hand. Now all I have to do is step in and drive. So remember, this left hand plays more of a role than the right hand. For instance, let me take my right hand off the racket. Here comes a forehand return. My right hand's just going to wait here. Left hand pulls it back. Wow, it's turning me. My right hand holds onto the racket. My left hand's out front. I just got done hitting a ball, and all the right hand did was grab the racket and swing it. The left hand did all the work. Let's look at what Mr. Left Hand does on the backhand. Here I am in my ready position. I'm taking my right hand off. The left hand's going to pull it back. My gosh, it's turning my whole body. I'm going to reach up with my right hand and hit the backhand. So you see, you've heard me preach the left hand before. I've just shown you that the left hand is the most important thing. Let's try that the next time we hit our returns. And remember, I'm at Saddlebrook on Mondays and Thursdays from 8 to 12. Come up to me and ask me about anything you've seen on these tips, and I will go over them with you. And now the most important thing is for you to remember that only in the sport of tennis does love mean absolutely nothing. So long for now.